Let's go!
Hello, this is Miss Aya with you. Today, inshallah, we are going to study a grammar lesson, the present simple tense. We are going to study together the present simple tense. Why do we use the present simple tense? We want to know together why do we use it. Why I write in the present simple tense or I speak in the present simple tense. Number one, to talk about facts. Facts, يعني حقائق. Number two, to talk about habits. Habits, يعني عادات. العادات اللي احنا بنعمل بيها الأكشن. يعني كل قد ايه بعمله. حاجة أنا متعودة بعملها على طول. I always go to school by bus. I always go to school by bus. دي habit. Let's see some examples together. Facts. She works as a teacher. She works as a teacher. Here, she works as a teacher. This is a fact about her, that she is a teacher. The moon moves round the earth. The moon moves round the earth. I have here the moon. This is the picture of the moon. Moves around the earth. The moon rotates around the earth. So this is a fact. This is a scientific fact. Khalid has a son. Khalid has a son. This is a fact about Khalid, that he has a son. Habits. She usually watches TV after school. She usually watches TV after school. I can say usually. I can say usually. Both are correct. She usually watches TV after school. She always reads a story to her children. This is a habit. She always reads a story to her children. She never works on Saturdays. She never works on Saturdays. Form. How to form the present simple tense. إزاي بكون الverb. How to form the present simple tense. I have he, she, it. They take the verb plus present. What's this present? S-E-S, I-E-S. I, we, you, they take the verb without S. They take the verb without S. Let's see some changes that happen to some words, to some verbs in English. Verb like wash. When I want to add S, can I say washes? No, of course not. It's difficult to say washes. So we add ES to be easy in pronunciation. Washes. Mix, mixes. Watch, watches. Miss, misses. Go, goes. So when I have the sounds sh and s and ch, we add es. We add es. I have here the verb play and say. So I have here, I have y at the end of the word. I have y at the end of the word. Before the y, I have a vowel. I have a vowel. What are the vowels? The vowels are A, I, E, O, U. When I have the vowel before the y, I add s. I add s. So play becomes plays. Say becomes says. Says. Look at the verb study. Look at the verb study. I have here y at the end of the verb. Also cry, I have y. But before the y, there is a consonant. There is a consonant, not vowel. D is a consonant. R is a consonant. So they are not vowels. When I add s, I cross y and I add I-E-S. I cross y and I add I-E-S. Studies. We cross the y. Look at the verb without y. Cries. We cross the y. We cross the y. The verb without y. Now we are going to study the keywords. What are the keywords that show me that this is the present simple tense? These keywords help you to know that this is present simple. What are they? Always, 100%. It means I do it all the time. For example, when I say, I always go to school by bus. I always go to school by bus. Every day I go to school by bus. Usually, I do it 75%. So like when you say, I usually do the washing up. I usually do the washing up. Often, 50%. Often, 50%. Like when you say, I often go to Marsa Matruh in summer. I often go to Marsa Matruh in summer. Sometimes 25%. When you say, I sometimes walk to school. I sometimes walk to school. Hardly ever. You do it once or twice a year. Once or twice a year. Like for example, when you say, I hardly ever go to the cinema. I hardly ever go to the cinema. Never, 0%, means I don't do it at all. I don't do it at all. Now, let's remember the keywords together with a song. We will say a song to remember them. Always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never. I never tell lies. Again, we are going to sing the song again. always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never. I never tell lies. Excellent. برافو عليكم، شاطرين. يبقى أنا عندي دلوقتي لو أنا الفيرب عندي بعمله أكتر حاجة هتكون always، أقل شوية usually، أقل شوية often، أقل شوية sometimes، أقل شوية hardly ever. hardly ever ده نادر خالص، يعني بعمله مرة مرتين يا دوبك في السنة. never ما بعملوش خالص. Yeah, like when you say I never smoke cigarettes. I never smoke cigarettes. How often? I use how often to ask about them. To ask about these adverbs of frequency, these words, these keywords, we use how often. Example, how often do you go to school? How often do you go to school? You say, I always go to school. I always go to school. How often do you clean your room? How often do you clean your room? I often clean my room. I often clean my room. Now I want you to look at the other keywords. Once, twice, 3 times, a day or a week or a month or a year. Once يعني مرة واحدة. Twice مرتين. 3 times 3 مرات. A day يعني في اليوم. A week في الأسبوع. A month في الشهر. A year في السنة. So when you say once a day مرة في اليوم, twice a week مرتين في الأسبوع, 3 times a month 3 مرات في الشهر, once a year مرة في السنة. every يعني كل. every day, every week, every month, every year. every يعني كل. every day كل يوم, every week كل أسبوع, every month كل شهر, every year كل سنة. On Saturdays or Fridays. When I say on Saturdays or on Fridays, this is to say, this is present simple, this is keyword of the present simple. For example, I don't go to work on Saturdays. I don't go to work on Saturdays. We ask about them using how often. We ask about them using how often. For example, how often do you go to Marsa Matruh? You tell me twice a year. Twice a year. How often do you study English? How often do you study English? Every day. Every day I study English. Now let's answer the questions together. Choose the correct answer. Farida never watch or watches or watching cartoon films. Farida, this is subject. Subject. Farida is a subject. We replace this subject with she. We replace this subject with she. She never. So takes verb with S. Takes verb with S. So the right answer is A. Watches. Watches. Keyword we have here never. We have a keyword never. Number 2, they always do or does or doing their homework alone. I have a keyword here, always. The keyword is always. They do or does or doing. I have they. They takes the verb without S. Takes the verb without S. The right answer is do. The right answer is do. Number 3, Wael always go or goes or is going to work by taxi. Wael always go or goes or is going to work by taxi. I have a keyword here, always, and I have Wael. Wael is a subject. We replace Wael with he. We replace Wael with he. So I say he takes verb with S. So the right answer is goes. Number 4, my grandpa usually sits or sat or is sitting in the balcony. My grandpa usually sits or sat or is sitting in the balcony. Grandpa is a subject. We replace the subject with he. We replace the subject with he. So I say the he takes verb with S. So the right answer sits. Number 5, a rabbit always eats or is eating carrots. A rabbit always eats or is eating carrots. I have a keyword here, always. I have a keyword always. A rabbit is a subject. We replace a rabbit with it. We replace a rabbit with it. It takes verb with S. So the right answer, eats. Number 6, my mother gets or is getting up early every day. I have a keyword here, every day, every day, every day. So I say, my mother, this is a subject. We replace it with she, and she takes S. So I say, my mother gets. My mother gets. Number 7, I sometimes go or am going to the cinema with my friends. I have the subject I here. This doesn't take S. This takes the verb without S. So the right answer is go. Number 8, we hardly ever wash or washes or are washing our cars by ourselves. We hardly ever wash or washes or are washing our cars by ourselves. We choose here wash because I have we doesn't take S. Number 9, she often studies or is studying English after school. She often studies or is studying English after school. I have here often. This is the key word, often. The key word often. She takes verb with S. So the right answer is studies. Number 10. My dad sometimes calls or is calling me at work. I have a key word, sometimes. My dad is a subject. I replace it with he. So I say, my dad calls. Now we are going to answer a question, another question that is called rewrite the following sentence using words in brackets. Rewrite, it means to write the sentence again using the words in brackets. I watch romantic films. I watch romantic films. He wants you to use hardly ever. He wants you to use hardly ever. So you say, I hardly ever watch romantic films. I hardly ever watch romantic films. Tamer always goes to Alexandria Library. He wants you to use Tamer and his sister. Tamer and his sister, this is a pronoun, plural, so I say they. They, Tamer and his sister, they. They take the verb without S. So we are going to say Tamer and his sister always go to Alexandria Library. Today, we studied together the present simple tense. We know together how to form it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And next time, inshallah, we are going to study how to make negative and how to form a question together. If you have any questions, write in the comments, please. Thank you. Goodbye.